Hello once again, everybody, and welcome back to the NJP Train segment here. We are working on the live stream route here once again, and for those of you keeping track at home, this is part number 13. Yes, this is number 13, and today we're going to focus a lot of energy on the Lakewood area. We haven't done a lot down in Lakewood, so it's time to get down there and do a little bit of work down there and lay in some new lines and stuff. There's going to be a lot of time-lapsing and a lot of voiceovers on this one, so be ready for that. This is the first portion here that I was thinking of, and I was looking at this, and it kind of accidentally happened, but I like the way this kind of flat spot over the highway here. For some reason, it just kind of works out that it looks like it needs to have some railroad tracks put in it. So let's get into a little bit of terraforming here as I move bushes and shrubs and trees and all kinds of stuff like that all over the place in there, and I flatten out parts of it. And this looks pretty good. There we go. Got to get them trees and stuff set just right. And yeah, I'm liking the way this is working. Whoops, I got a little bit carried away on the road there, so we have to push that back a little bit. And I like the whole scene here with the river down below and then the road and then the railroad up above there on the not really a ridge top, just kind of elevated above the highway. There's several areas around where I live here that are set up like that, and I've always found that kind of interesting. So I'm going to terraform this up and make it more level and put a bridge across the highway over there where you see it in the far distance there. And I'm going to move these trees around just a little bit. I kind of bounce around a little bit during the work on this. And yeah, that looks like a beautiful roadbed through there. Got to extend this out just a little bit here. There we go. And there's, you can see I'm adjusting the road to make room for the bridge through there. And I'm leveling things up over here because you never know, we might be expanding this thing off in this direction someday, so I want to make it a little bit more viable. So smoothing this out, it's time to lay down some track finally. Let's get some track laid in here. Just kind of roughing it in, almost paralleling the highway there as we go. And that's kind of the way that it is in some of the, oh, that's kind of rough through there. We'll fix that a little bit later on. Right now, let's move some of these tree splines out of the way because we're obviously going to be going a little bit further than what we have right here. So, yeah, some of these splines can be a little bit tricky to move around, and I like to have those in there, though. So let's move the line off in that direction. That bothers me. Let's smooth that off. There we go. That looks a whole lot better, I think. And, yeah, the whole thing looks pretty scenic through here. I like this. I really like the way this is working out. Kind of getting the track, getting it more fine-tuned, fine-adjusted through there, and this is the end result of that. I now want to kind of move up. I decided to move the line a little bit further along this direction. It was just going to be here for scenic purposes, but I think I'm going to actually turn this into a usable line. So let's do a little bit more terraforming over here on the other side and see what we come up with on this side. And I really like being able to do that. So let's take the track all the way off to the edge of the layout. I don't know what I'm going to do quite right there yet. Maybe put a portal in there, or maybe I'll possibly expand it to another town. I don't know yet. So we're going to figure that out as we go. But right now, let's move down to the other end over here. We got a lot to do over here too. Put a piece of track on the other side of the road, and it's time to put a bridge in here. And I'm a particular fan of the Warren Truss style bridge, so let's find that spline. Let's put it in approximately where I want it to be. Do a little fine-tuning on it and get it set just where I want it to be. Let's connect the tracks up to it now. This one here and this one here. Apparently I didn't connect this one either. There we go. Now they're connected, and yeah, I like the looks of that. So fine-tuning it up to the edge of the hill by the road there, and I think that turned out pretty decent. We get a little overhead shot of it, and yep, I like it. All right, so we're finished down here on this end, so I think it's going to shoot up to the other end over here and do a little bit more scenic kind of work, laying down some more textures on the ground, get rid of some of this grid work. It's kind of ugly, in my opinion, and I don't know. For some reason, I just don't like the grid work unless I'm actually working on something where I have to line something up. So I put the scenery down and put it right up to the end of the line there. Take a couple of splines and run those down here. That's about as far as I can go with that one. So I'll go sideways with that, pull it up to the edge of the tracks. And I like the way these splines work like this. You can edge them up like that. So that is the effect that I'm looking for. It has achieved what I'm trying to do here. So let's go and just kind of fine-tune everything and get ready for the next phase here, which is Of course, since this is a railroad after all, why wouldn't we do this? We're going to jump on a train and run down the line. So here's the audio from the live stream as we did that. Now, even though we're going backwards. All right, let's release these brakes and get rolling. All right, Ryan, that sounds fair enough. Heads, it's the SD40-2, tails the GP38-2. Let's go with it. Best of three. I see I got one bush that's hanging out on the track out here that needs to be trimmed back a little bit. Why are we slowing down? I don't have any brakes turned on. Yeah, I'll have to move that back just a little bit over there. Hey guys, I gotta say, this actually turned out really nice, this part of the route. Oh, I better put some braking on here. We're going to hit the end of the line pretty quick. I guess we stopped short, but okay. All right, so that's that. We don't need to save any session. Do the Sawmill. All right, you know what, Joe? You and I think a lot alike, because that is what I really... My heart is in it tonight for fixing things up around the Sawmill. I think I'm just going to start by... probably just dynamite all this track right out of here, huh? And start all over with it. Get rid of some of the scenic stuff here. And we jump once again into the time-lapse and, of course, the ultimate voiceover here as we delete tracks like a madman here and get rid of all that stuff. Move the scenery stuff out of the way, like I said there. Push it all back out of the way. And then we're going to get rid of all these roads through here, too. We got a grade crossing kind of hanging out there for some reason, too. We got rid of that. And now we want to connect the log drop-off track to the track that you see coming under that bridge there. So we're going to connect that up with the same kind of track that I got there, and kind of make it's going to be kind of a sharp corner there, but that can't be avoided at this particular point. And there we go. It's not too bad. It's still a little sharper than I like it, but I think it'll have to work. Just have a lot of squealing train wheels going around that corner there. And now for the lumber pickup. As you remember, there's a loop on the other end of the plant over there you can't see off to the left, and so the train can turn around. Just get rid of that. There we go. I hate when they jog off like that. So now we're going to deal with the bridge over here, and I think we'll just take that out and put an AASHTO bridge in there in place of that, because I like the bridge a lot better. And that center support, I was struggling trying to get that just right, and I wish there was a way that the bridge could be put up without that center support in there, but unfortunately it can't, so I kind of had to struggle a little bit with that and get it just right. Replace the roadway in there with the AASHTO roads as well. once I got everything planted in there. That just didn't look right. So yeah, let's get rid of that and just put the ash tow road in there instead. There is a grand scheme of things going on here, at least at this point in the game. And it's kind of a roundabout way, almost a figure eight kind of thing. Well, I'll turn it over to the live stream audio at this point and explain it. In the grand scheme of things, how do we want to do this? Somehow or another, I would like to be able to connect it up with this one, but I think we're going to have a lot of elevation problems with this. We're going to have like a 2% grade going up to it if we do it that way. But I can't see any other way of doing it, and I don't want to run like I did on the other one, running across here. And then there is room to run a track alongside the riverbank here, and that is at the same grade. But my thought is kind of make it almost like a figure eight, where the main switching yard is going to be over in this area over here someplace. I'm not sure. This is the main line that's coming in right here. So this will be coming in here, and it's going to make a 90-degree bend, so we have a north-south running yard. And this one here, I'll have to add another board onto here, but I'd like to loop this one around, have it come on and hook back up to the main line. So the train comes in, would run through here, go up on the upper line up here, come through, and then tie in with that. I'm going to have to start the grade down right here. I don't want to put a grade right after the bridge, but from this piece here, I'm going to have to start dropping it down. And this is, I believe, is actually 15 meters high. 14.8. So we got to go from here to about here. We got 14.8 meters we got to drop between those 2 points. Yeah. And I don't like to go much over a 1% grade when I do these things, so this track here will kind of take care of that. All right, so the question is, we're up at 14.8. It would be appropriate to drop it to maybe 13.8. Let's try 13.5. Let's see what our gradient is on that. 0.82%. I can live with that. If I can keep that kind of a gradient going. The slow climb. Yeah, I'd like to. Yeah, it's gonna be it's gonna be kind of touch and go. I might actually have to tweak this off camera because, as you know, Joe, this stuff gets to be really fussy and really tedious as you're working on it. And tedious it definitely is. This was a very time-consuming project I was working on here. And back to the time-lapse and the voiceover and this thing, and the struggle to keep this around 1% grade. And believe me, guys, the struggle is real on this because they're just trying to figure this out and do it. Well, let's go back to the live stream audio once again. There's just not enough room to pull 8 meters off. That's our height difference, and we're not lining up either. Okay, well, this looks to be like a failed plan here. So I think what I'm going to have to do is go all the way back over here, start dropping grade off over here. It's the only thing we can do. And once again, we go back to the voiceover and the time lapse as I work out the formula as to how far I want to drop the track there, and got an idea. And as you can see, I'm working through redoing all of this and trying to bring the grades back into matching with each other. And at least we got the line connected now. A little bit more tuning and tweaking here and there, trying to get the heights just right. It got a little too steep for a ways there, so we had to go back and readjust everything, but it looks like it's all connectified and connectificated, and it is a workable. I think it's workable at this point. At least at this point, it looks like it could be. But there's definitely a lot more thinking and a lot more planning that needs to go into this. So instead of making you guys sit through the agony of having to think through this thing with me, I think I'm going to take some time and consider my options here and look over some other ideas and possibilities. And we'll come back to part 14 here, and we'll revisit this and see what happens. So this will close out part number 13. Yes, number 13 for those of you keeping track at home. Thanks for watching. Definitely do appreciate it. And we'll be talking to you again real soon. And of course, until we talk again, whatever it is in life you do, keep on doing what it is you do.